Welcome. Today we are exposing the powerhouse tech, shielding your business from hackers, ruthless ransomware crews, sloppy misconfigurations, and MFA gaps that crippled colonial pipeline. If you're a cybersecurity pro, IT leader, or curious why companies still get breached despite firewalls, you are in the right place. In today's hyper-connected world with cloud sprawl, remote teams, and IoT devices everywhere, traditional perimeter security like firewalls is no longer sufficient against sophisticated phishing, zero-day exploits, and nation-state actors. Identity management evolved from a back office IT checkbox to a survival imperative and frontline defense against million-dollar breaches. We will discover how AI-powered IAM slashes response times by almost 80%, how smart detection like impossible travel stops attackers, and the golden rule for balancing ironclad security with smooth workflows so the business objectives and supporting operations stand tall. We will cover the challenges of poor identity management, real world breaches that could have been prevented, the power of modern solutions, and finally, compliance with regulatory requirements like GDPR and industry standards. So let's dive in. Yes, a quick note before we begin. The statistics and financial figures you will see today, whether it is a 20% improvement, an 80% reduction, or multi-million dollar breach costs, can vary depending on the research institute, industry report, or security vendor providing the data. Additionally, results may vary significantly based on your organization's size, industry sector, security maturity level, and existing infrastructure. My objective is not to debate exact percentages, but to show you the real world impact and directional trends that matter for protecting your organization. Now, switching to today's topic, starting with challenges for poor identity management. Ever spent 20 minutes resetting a forgotten password? Frustrating, right? Now imagine hackers don't need to bother. They just walk in through accounts you forgot even existed. Welcome to the nightmare of poor identity management, where yesterday's convenience becomes today's catastrophe. Picture this: your security alarm goes off at 3 a.m. Instead of immediately knowing who broke in, your teams spend nearly 30 minutes just triaging the alert and determining which account was compromised. NIST's incident response framework highlights that this detection and analysis phase is one of the most time intensive parts of handling an incident. And 2023 to 2024 industry benchmarks confirm that investigating a single alert often takes 20 to 40 minutes. Meanwhile, attackers are already sprinting through your network. The SolarWinds hack proved this devastatingly. Attackers compromised privileged accounts and pivoted across 18,000 organizations, including US government agencies, because fundamental identity solutions could not connect the dots. For months, they roamed undetected. What's protecting your company's VPN? Just passwords? No multi-factor authentication? In May 2021, Colonial Pipeline learned this lesson the hardest way. One compromised VPN password, no second factor gave ransomware attackers the keys to America's fuel supplies. 6 days of shutdown, gas stations running dry, with 4.4 million USD ransom paid in panic. This wasn't sophisticated malware. This was basic credential theft exploiting weak authentication. The kind of vulnerability likely lurking in your network right now. Overprivilege is the silent killer, giving users excessive permission just in case or because it's easier than proper role management. Uber found out what happens when you get this wrong. In 2022, stolen credentials let an attacker access admin systems and expose employee records. Why so much damage? Overprivileged accounts let them move anywhere. Even Okta, an identity management company, got hit when a contractor's laptop with excessive access became the entry point, compromising hundreds of their enterprise customers. Here's a scary question: how many former employees can still log into your systems right now? That contractor from 6 months ago? Over 25 to 30% of companies have these ghost accounts, former employees whose credentials are still active. When they log in, Your security system sees them a normal user. No alarms, no alerts. They quietly access files, download data, or cause damage until it's too late. Your marketing team just signed up for a trendy design tool. Sales is sharing files through an app IT has never heard of. Product adopted a new project management platform without telling anyone. Welcome to Shadow IT. Unauthorized apps spreading across your company. Your security team has no idea these apps exist. No control over access. No visibility into who's logging in or what they are sharing. You can't protect what you can't see. And right now, there's a whole shadow network operating outside your security perimeter. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the threat isn't breaking in from outside. It's already sitting at a desk with a company laptop. According to Verizon's 2024 data breach investigation report, 70% of healthcare data breaches involve insiders, current or former employees. They are using legitimate credentials to do illegitimate things, either knowingly or unknowingly. To your security systems, they look like any other employee. No alerts for logging in at 2 a.m., no flags for downloading gigabytes of customer data, no warnings about copying sensitive files to USB drives for months. Without proper monitoring and identity governance, that one insider becomes a direct highway to your most valuable data. Think cleaning up the breach is expensive? Wait until regulators knock your door. GDPR penalties up to 4% of global annual revenue, not profit, revenue. Amazon got hit with 746 million euros. Meta paid 1.2 billion euros. This is real money flowing out of real companies because their identity controls failed basic standards. Healthcare, HIPAA violations cost up to 50,000 USD per violation. Lost your SOC 2 certification? Say goodbye to enterprise customers. Failed your audits? Watch contracts evaporate overnight, or even you might not be eligible for applying for a contract. Suddenly, investing in proper identity management seems like the bargain of the century. Let's talk about total financial carnage. The average data breach cost 4.4 million USD globally, according to IBM 2024 cost of data breach report. When compromised credentials are involved, 4.62 million USD, and it takes an average of 280 to 290 days to identify and contain the breach. Nearly 10 months of attackers living rent free in your systems. Colonial Pipelines 4.4 million USD ransom was just the ransom. Total damage approximately 50 to 70 million USD in estimated total impact, including operational losses, remediation, and reputational damage, all from one compromised password. So, what connects every of these disasters? These aren't freak accidents or nation state actors. They are predictable consequences of outdated identity practices. Password only authentication, former employees with active accounts, shadow IT nobody monitors, overprivileged users, manual access reviews, outdated before they are finished. Even every vulnerability we have discussed is a door left wide open. Attackers aren't getting smarter. We are making their job easier by using 2000 Tera's identity strategies in a hyper connected 2025 world. The question isn't if poor identity management will cost you, it's when and whether your business will survive it. Here's the hope: modern identity management can slam every one of these doors shut. The technology exists, it's proven, it's deployable. So, what it is, let's dive in. Modern identity and access management delivers measurable results. Organizations report up to 99% of identity related breaches could have been prevented with proper IAM implementation based on 2023 2024 identity security reports. Organizations with advanced identity management capabilities respond to breaches up to 40% faster than those without, and businesses with automated detection system contains threat 40% faster. Operational efficiency improves dramatically. Self-service password management reduces helpdesk calls by up to 40%, while automated user provisioning slashes provisioning related tickets by 30%. compliance becomes continuous and automatic. Modern IAM tools track rules for GDPR, NIST, SOX, HIP, PCI DSS, ISO 27001, and many other standards and regulations live. They flag access outside approved roles instantly. Role-based access control in IAM cuts compliance tickets by up to 60%. Logs stay audit ready automatically, saving hours effortlessly. Modern IAM platforms continuously monitor user activities, instantly linking identities to accounts while securing privileged credentials in safe repositories provided by various vendors. When suspicious activity emerges, automated alerts trigger immediately, such as anomalous logins, a manager logging in at 2 am from an unrecognized device, or 47 failed attempts in 3 minutes. Classic brute force patterns that gets flagged instantly. Impossible geographic travels. Authentication from London at 10 am and Tokyo at 10:30 am. Physically impossible, indicating stolen credentials in active use. Unusual file access. A developer suddenly downloading 500 customer reports instead of their typical 5 to 10 files, or accessing executive compensation folders never touched before. Behaviors that trigger immediate investigation. Abnormal traffic. A system admin transferring 10 GB when daily average is 50 MB, or API calls spiking from 20 per hour to 2000 per hour. Anomalies that modern systems can catch in real time. And these are just a few examples. These systems calculate the blast radius, that is, the total damage scope, if uncontained. In real world implementation, this involves complex analysis of every compromised access point and their entitlement, connected applications such as Salesforce, AWS, GitHub, data repositories such as financials, customer PII, lateral movement paths through trust relationship, transitive access rights, that is what the compromised account can reach indirectly, time-based permission that may have expired or been temporarily elevated. While we are simplifying it here, modern IAM platforms use graph database analysis and machine learning to map these interconnected relationships in real time, something almost impossible to do manually. These enables team to immediately revoke sessions, quarantine accounts, and contain threats before they pivot across the infrastructure. Consider how this would have changed outcomes. When attackers exploited a third-party system at Okta in 2022 and remained undetected for weeks, behavioral anomaly detection would have flagged unusual access patterns within minutes, automatically isolating compromised tokens. When MGM resorts suffered major losses after attackers convinced their help desk to reset credentials in 2023, phishing resistant MFA and voice biometric verification would have stopped the attack at the gate. The Colonial Pipeline incident in 2021 that disrupted eastern US fuel supplies through compromised VPN credentials would have been blocked by conditional access policy requiring additional authentication factors for privileged infrastructure access. AI and machine learning have revolutionized IAM operation, though the people managing the technology remain critical. Modern IAM solutions establish baseline user behaviors, application patterns, data volumes, work hours, device fingerprints, even keystroke dynamics. Deviations like 3 am bulk downloads or unauthorized system queries trigger instant alerts. AI-driven solutions can predict 70 to 80% of potential access abuse scenarios before they occur. While companies using AI-powered security cut their breach detection time in half, what once took 30 plus minutes of manual investigation now happens in seconds. Adaptive authentication is like a smart security guard that changes its rules on the spot based on how safe your login seems. It checks things in real time, such as your location, the health of your device, how trustworthy your network is, the time of the day, and how sensitive the data you are accessing is. Modern IAM platforms use automation and AI to handle 75% or more of access requests without human involvement. A trend Gartner's 2024 IAM forecasts, predicts, and recent summit confirms as already underway by late 2025. Automated provisioning connects HR tools to IAM systems, cutting new employer setup from days to minutes with instant account creation and role assignments across apps and clouds. Automated deprovisioning removes permission rights when staff leave, wiping out orphan accounts that hackers love. Technology alone isn't enough. You need people protected by strong authentication. Modern IAM uses phishing resistant methods that stop credential theft, physical security keys, biometrics, and smart push notifications that display a random number on a screen. And you must type that exact number into your phone to approve login. This prevents MFA fatigue attacks, where hackers spam approval requests until user accidentally tap yes out of frustration. Access control follows least privilege principles, enforced automatically through role-based rules. So with this, summer interns can't open CFO financial files, the contractors can't touch company IP, and everyone gets only what they need for their job, nothing more. No exceptions, no workarounds. Overly restrictive controls drive dangerous workarounds like password sharing, shadow IT, USB snakes, while insufficient controls let attackers walk in. The solution lies in periodic or quarterly policy tune ups, auditing against business thefts, emerging threats, regulatory changes, and the incident postmortems. Takeaways. Balanced properly, IAM becomes an ally, building security culture where teams see it as protecting jobs, trust, and bottom line for breaches, not as obstacles to productivity. Modern IAM transforms cybersecurity from reactive firefighting to automated defense, proactively hunting threats, predicting risks, and stopping attacks early. IBM's 2024 report shows average breach cost at 4.4 billion USD, with IAM cutting that cost by 180,000 USD on average through prevention. By 2026, deployable tech like passwordless FIDO2 NIST, quantum resistant encryption, blockchain identities, AI continuous authentication, and zero trust micro segmentation will ensure fast compliance, frictionless access, and strong hybrid workforce protection, making identity your top defense. Now, let's be honest. Implementing modern IAM isn't just plug and play. Organizations face real challenge, upfront costs for licensing and infrastructure, change management resistance from users comfortable with old workflows, and the complexity of integrating with legacy systems that were not designed for modern security. Typical enterprise IAM implementation takes 6 to 18 months and require executive buy-in, dedicated project teams, and phased rollouts. But here's the perspective that matters. The cost of not implementing proper IAM, the 4.45 million breach, the regulatory fines, the reputational damage far exceeds the investment in getting it right. And with cloud-based IAM solutions and managed services, even mid-sized organizations can adopt enterprise-grade security without building everything from scratch. With this, let's conclude this video. In case you liked it, just like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. See you in the next one.